Hello, my name is Richard Perkins and I live in Winchester. I have the good fortune of helping to run a cricket team which plays on this beautiful cricket ground behind us.
I'm Roger Morgan-Grenville from Midhurst in West Sussex, and I'm a father and a family man. I am also a passionate but not very good cricketer, which is how I came to meet Nick.
Hi, I'm Simon James. I live in the middle of a field a bit like this, although my field's not as flat, which is just a few miles away from here. I do a lot of playing cricket and cycling.
I first met Nick at school where he taught orienteering in a small class. After that he went on to work in commerce and for various charities. He was a keen supporter of our cricket club, and I also played tennis with him and went cycling on various adventures both in England and in the Alps.
The difficulty with kidney cancer is that the symptoms are difficult to spot and to assess correctly. In Nick's case, he and I, with Richard and Roger, had been playing cricket all summer. Nick was usually an incredibly slow batsman and tended to run people out. That summer he played with unbelievable fluency. He was playing strokes like I'd never seen him play before. He was running quickly between wickets as opposed to running us all out. And in the September, just a few weeks before everything went wrong, we were cycling in the evening together, and he looked absolutely fine. In Nick's case, because he'd had a previous back injury, when he felt pain in his lower back, he went to an osteopath to see if that would help him. Of course it didn't. And he then went down with flu, which caused a doctor to come and see him. And it was really just when the doctor came to see him that the doctor realised that this was something more than flu.
I first learnt that Nick had kidney cancer in a phone call from his family. Shortly afterwards, I rang Simon and Roger, and they were as shocked as I was by the speed with which the disease had taken hold.
So from the time when the doctor decided that some other tests were required, it took a week for the diagnosis to be made. It was clear that the outcome was going to be death, and that happened about 5 or 6 weeks later.
Nick accepted what was coming to him with a state of great grace and practicality. He never once sat there and, or at least outwardly, got depressed or miserable about it. He took all the practical steps he could to make things better for him and for his family, and to help everyone around him accept what was coming.
My father also died of kidney cancer. As an even younger man, he was age 47. Like Nick, he was a really keen sportsman and lived life to the full. He was playing rugby until about 4 months before he died. He was playing squash even more recently than that. And from about 2 months before he died, he had started seeing blood in his urine, and he also had lower back pain. Sadly, from when he was diagnosed, there was just 3 weeks until he died. I should make the point that diagnostic skills are better now than they were when my father died, which was in 1975.
Very close to the end, I talked to Nick about what was coming, and one of the great things about his being honest was that we could talk about it. And I asked if there was anything practical that we could do to help afterwards. He said that the guys at Kidney Cancer UK had been hugely helpful with advice of all sorts, and that's what he wanted us to raise money for. Shortly after Nick's memorial service, the three of us sat in a pub, which is where all these decisions get made, and worked out what it was we could do to make good our promise to Nick. Fundamentally, we all did something physical which had 2012 in it. So I ran 2012 miles, and the others cycled and swum and ran other things with 2012. That was our challenge.
My fondest memory of Nick, as well of course as his cheeky smile, was him waiting for me at the top of a mountain in central France while cycling the 2011 amateur stage of the Tour de France. As I came up through the mist behind him, he said, "Come on, Richard, cycle faster."
My fondest memory of Nick was something which used to make me, every time it happened, incredibly cross with him. And that was every time he ran me out on the cricket field. And it happened frequently. There was no member of any opposition who got me out as frequently as this member of my own team.
So I ran the 2012 miles in 2012, and actually I was inspired to go on running, and I've now done about 7,000 or 8,000. And every tiny pace has been a reminder of my friendship with Nick and what Nick meant to me.
Because it is so difficult to recognise kidney cancer at an early stage, it's very important that we all know what these symptoms may be. And it's also, as a result of that, very important that we support the research that Maxine Tran and her PhD student are hoping to do. If they are able to find markers in our immunity systems which point to the fact that kidney cancer is thriving in anybody's body, then it means that we will be able to use those small telltale signs and use a diagnostic system which spots those things at a much earlier stage than has ever been possible before. The only way that we can complete this research is by having your support. So please give generously so that we can help Maxine and her PhD student achieve what we all hope that they will. Thank you.